Discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Roll for the Galaxy with the Ambition expansion. Now, I want to clarify that that box is empty. What we didn't use from the expansion are these basically goals, other ways to get points. One, I didn't read about how to use these, but I mean, I honestly have no clue what they do. Let's see.
Sounds interesting.
There's a condition that you have to meet. Oh, I see what they do. Okay, I see what they do. You have to do something and they'll give you talent counters, which are these. Okay, so I guess it's not ways to get points. Basically these these are talent counters, the black. And those basically are free wilds. If you finish this one, you would get 3 of those. So basically you won't have to use your dice, it gives you more means to do other stuff.
Wow.
And then it looks like on the back of these, it looks like maybe some of them give you points. So, well, none of the ones I'm drawing, but maybe some of them give you points. So that's what we didn't use. I just figured it bogged the game up a little bit too much, but I'll talk about that whenever, if it gets brought up. Okay, so other than that, what do you guys think of the game?
I like it's a good game.
All right, and that was the discussion. No. Just what? For some reason, the only complaint I have, and it's Kat's biggest complaint as well, is when you roll your dice and like it's like, okay, well, it's luck. There's very little luck in a dice game, which is what I really like about this game is like, because normally it's not just, all right, well, shit, I didn't get what I wanted. You can mitigate them enough, especially when you start getting developments.
Well, thematically, what it is workers are being born. Will this person be naturally good at this? Will they be and then you can mitigate that by like training them or like doing different things. That's how I see it.
Right, or having a boss being like, hey, no, yeah, I know you're a settler, but I really need you over here to produce.
Yeah.
And then you get these developments that are really cool. And so the complaint is, if you roll, and let's say I get 2 explorers, is you don't get to choose whether or not you want to use that worker. It's you have to. If you can, you have to. And that was Kat's complaint, and I think it's a valid complaint.
Because it's kind of annoying because sometimes you're like, I can't use this dice, but I want to save it for later.
Yeah.
I can use it for something. And
Exactly.
You can't do that.
You're like, I have a lot of money. I have enough. Especially like explorers, like
you
I
have
have
to waste
enough
money
time
to get it back.
Yep.
Later.
That's pretty much the only complaint. But even then, it doesn't really affect a whole lot because there were times when we were getting a whole bunch back.
Yeah. It's not enough. It's not enough to like cripple you.
Right.
Because I had that
early on. I think it is.
I had that problem, but like I still did well. You know?
Right. And then, man, it is just a solid game. It's not long. It says 45 minutes. You can play up to 2 to 5 players. So I'm going to talk about the side of the box. It's 2 to 5 players. Most games do not scale well, and what that means is it's like you can play 2 to 5, but you really need to play with 4. You know, those games where it's like Cyclades is like you can play it with 2 to 4. You don't want to play it with 3. 3 people suck. This one I believe is good with any number. Like we played it with 3, didn't feel any different the last time we played it with 4.
Right.
And then Kat and I have played it, it's just 2. It's a solid game, it works all the way to any number of players, which is
played
great.
it with 5, it like ruins the game.
It's like shit.
We can test run that.
I think what that ties into is there isn't really not a whole lot of player interaction. The only interaction is you trying to get into the minds of is you trying to be like, okay, what do they need to do? Which I did a little bit. I was able to do it for some reason easier with Ying than I was with you because I'd be like, okay, well, he may want to ship, but he also might want to develop. But with Ying, I was like, he probably will develop.
It's kind of
so I would bounce off that and choose something else. But it can really hurt you if you're hoping that you guys do something. Like half the time we were all hoping someone would explore or ship and no one would do it.
It's kind of like we're competing companies. like we can see each other's progress, but we don't necessarily like fight. you
Yeah,
know?
we're not like coming in and like destroying each other. And that's the good thing is Rado, I think he really, because this is not a mean game. There are games like this where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna destroy that, or I'm gonna take it. It's like, fuck you, even if it's no benefit to anyone else. This one is like, how well can I do for myself? Which is weird to say because we just played through the ages, and that was a solitaire game where we were essentially playing by ourselves. But
until someone started attacking everybody.
well, it's weird I say it with this game because I also think this game is lighter. I feel like
Oh yeah, this game's a lot easier to learn.
and
Yeah, true that.
whenever we played it last time, Matt was kind of at first he was like I have no clue. When you look at this, yeah, you're like what?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But after a few rounds, you're like oh okay.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
That happened to me though. Like this game, it's like I got the general, but now I'm getting like, oh, I'm getting all the specific details. And
Right. I think the only thing that I guess would be the most confusing is shipping. It's like, wait, so how do I get points? Or do I get to trade and get points? It's like it's one or the other. Throughout this entire game, with your faction, your starting thing, I was like, man, you can milk that so much, and you did. You got 10 victory points off of that. Or else
I could have done more, but I wanted to do this stuff because, as was clearly demonstrated, this stuff really actually matters more than the victory points themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially the 6+ tiles because those can really rack up a lot because they're already worth 6, and on top of
their extra
they
points at the end.
they can end up giving you a lot.
That's actually it's funny. The dice aren't the luck; it's what you draw. That's really lucky because Ying didn't draw any of those 6s.
Like exact, and that's one thing I didn't know. I didn't know you could stack them on each other. I'm like, oh, you can do that.
You
So
also, I don't feel like you were exploring as much as we were.
Well, because he didn't know you could stack. He thought
Yeah.
you had to finish one at a time,
Oh yeah.
which
that's
I
not
guess would
which is a
Would make
common
sense.
mistake, I'm pretty sure, in this game.
right.
Or for me, it's on my fault.
Which damn it, there it is. Which is true, and sometimes it's like it's management, but it's not over your head through the ages management. Like, yeah, it's like, well, how much do I want to explore? Do I want to explore a lot and just have a whole bunch under it, just so I don't have to waste time later exploring? Or it's like, because that's the time this was empty, so I was like, crap. Okay, I need to explore, and I have to make that my action to, and that's all I did because this was the first one I got. Galactic Bankers was +1 VP per development in my tableau, which means like that's. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of the 12 tablets were developments because I was like, this gives you endgame strategy, which I also really like. If you can at least get one, you can be like, that gives you a goal to play for the rest of the game instead of just randomly rolling and getting dice because essentially the worlds don't do anything for you except give you dice.
I think games like Through the Ages are just convoluted enough that they should probably be video games.
Right.
Whereas this, I feel like works really well as a board game. Like it fits within its genre. Well.
That's a good point. And there are other games that are like this that this is very streamlined, very smooth, a good gateway game. And there are games that work like this that could be a little bit more difficult. There's a lot of business simulation games that, depending on who you are, you're right. It's like this one might as well be a video game versus a board game. Obviously, component quality is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of balance between the starting factions and the starting worlds.
Yeah, let's say these
Those can really make or break the game because mine. I guess it did give me an entrepreneur die, which these are super helpful.
What was your original?
It was planetary survivors, or surveyors. You may reassign 1 or 2 home or white die to become explorers and or settlers.
That's pretty good.
So it was good, but I never, and this was just on me. I never used the white dice.
Yeah.
because of the jump draft field gate, it gave me a orange die at the
Huh.
at the start of the game, and then also my alien toy shop was remove one of your dice and gain a entrepreneur and a yellow, which
Yeah.
clearly I'm going to use the orange and the yellow above any white die because, and that just happened to be with this because these are almost guaranteed wilds, and then these are literally anything, sometimes free.
I think something I should have done instead of because I did a lot of exploring, like stocking.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I should have done was I should have done more selling. Because I didn't realize this, but this green here is worth 5. So if I would just produce and sell one of those every turn, that would be like enough every turn.
Yep.
I could just get 5 every turn. You know.
I remember because whenever you did 2 shipments, you did your yellow one for victory points, of course, because you get 2 points and 2 credits.
Mhm.
And then I mentioned I was sitting here and I was like, you can get that one for 5, and you still ended up getting the points, which.
You know.
Whenever we played last time, Matt would just get the points, and it's like that's the thing that really sucks is trying to get money, but it's never. It's like sometimes it's like crap. I can only get 1 die if you expand too much, and that's what can tie into the fact that you're forced to use your people, which I don't like. Whenever it's like, well, crap, I'm only gonna have 1 die to roll next turn. Why can't I just save these workers? But that's the management part.
That was one thing that I thought about when I was rolling, because I was like, well, do I want to roll all of them? Because if I roll a bunch of extra ones and then I end up having to use them, you know, I'm just going to be spending a lot of money every
Mhm.
single turn.
Yeah.
Especially with only 3 people, because I can only 3 of these am I actually going to be able to use. So it's like,
Right.
what if I roll 5 explorers? And I don't want to explore 5 times,
Right.
but I have to because someone else chose explore.
Exactly, and it's one of those things that when I was explaining it to Kat, I was like, really? In all honesty, if you like, none of the actions ever hurt you. Like, yes, they can hurt you in that sense, but it's like it's not terrible that if you have 5 explorers, you can stock up on money to buy them all back, and then I guess it doesn't. It is kind of a waste of a turn.
It's like
It negates it.
It balance.
Yeah, it negates
balance
it.
negates
Or
itself.
you can just get like you can draw more and hopefully get like a 6 or something else that's better than the one you use. Then you abandon it.
One thing I did was I didn't have a settle thing for a long time, and so if I got settled, if I got like a settled dice that I didn't want to use, then I would just put it there and it would just go back in my cup.
Yeah, and so
So you can do that.
if you can't use it, then it's not like, oh, they go back to your. They're just like, nothing to settle. Guess we'll go home. It's like, no, they're still
Yeah.
going to go work. There's something else. There's something else that I was going to talk about. Ying, do you have anything?
Not really. I really like the game because
Oh. I remember. Go ahead. Keep going.
Because I was thinking about it, I was like after actually finally playing, I'm like, is this something I would actually like to have? To be
Right.
honest. Yeah. Because it's like, it's not something that we have a lot of negativity. It's just that one small thing that you brought up and I liked that. I was like, yeah, that's one of the things, and pretty sure Kat said the same thing.
One of the few games we haven't argued about.
Or like been like, this is fucking gay like the whole time. It's just like I was like, oh, okay, well
Right.
maybe I'll have a chance
Yeah.
of getting this with these guys.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And there was one time when Luke rolled and he's like, "Oh, it's okay. I can make it work."
Yeah.
And which is really because normally with any dice game, Luke, you're just like, "Fuck!
Yeah.
This game fucking sucks." And this game easily could have gone that way. And Wei Hua Huang and Tom Lehman did a brilliant job. This used to be
Lehman, yeah.
whatever Lehman did a brilliant job because this used to be a card game. It was originally Race for the Galaxy, and then they changed it. The thing
It wasn't card for the draw for the.
No, it was Race for the Galaxy. As with this was the same problem that we had with Germania Magna. There's I can't think of any off the top of my head, but anything Monopoly. Any game that has you play behind a screen, which isn't the case with us, but that has you hide your actions, prompts people to cheat.
Yeah.
Like they could easily do it. Like it's not.
Whitechapel and
Whitechapel is behind a
Count,
screen.
whatever.
Huh?
With
Mysterium.
the one with Count Dracula.
Well, Mysterium's co-op.
Oh yeah, never mind. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Fury of Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fury of
That
Dracula.
one's not behind a screen though.
Is it not?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, okay.
It's
but-
it's all written down.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's really a problem. Like I would just say play with people you trust. Like, I
Right,
mean,
right, exactly. But I'm saying like, you couldn't pull this game out to like and go to a game shop. Be like, anyone want to play?
Yeah.
Because then people could easily roll in and you're like, oh, I didn't get anything I want. And then you turn the dice.
Yeah, I
And-
wouldn't necessarily play it with someone that I just met. Either.
Exactly,
It's just-
because
But like,
and-
I mean, I don't really understand the point of cheating in a board game because it doesn't matter. You know,
right.
it's like,
I mean, cheating in anything doesn't matter,
Right.
like video games or anything.
well, yeah. I mean, but like
At
if
least
we're-
cheating in a social setting.
Like if you cheat in sports or something, you get
You
glory
get called
That's
and
true.
money and shit. But like in board games, like who cares? Like what's the point in winning if like you
If you
actually
won by-
win, like,
yeah.
if you win,
Yeah, because it's like, oh yeah, I won, and then back in the back of your mind, you're like, but I cheated the entire
because that's
game.
really the only point in winning in a board game is for like the bragging rights or
Yeah.
whatever.
And the only reason I play board games is just to have fun.
Yeah.
And the expansion. Okay, so what do you guys think of the literally the base? And that's also what I was gonna say. The expansion is not necessary. Like there's games where they have expansions, and Cyclades, for example. I haven't played the Titan expansion, but every single person I've heard said they only play that game with that expansion. Like some expansions make the game good. This one, I feel like this isn't necessary.
Which dice did we add?
These are the only ones you add.
No, it's not necessary.
Not at all. They add a little bit more to the game, more variety, and more to get what you want,
Yeah.
but they're not necessary. And granted, we haven't played with the objectives, but that's the crux of a good game. Is if by the base game, you can be like, buy the base game, and it's a good game.
Yeah.
If you want the expansion, if you have extra money, you can get it. You don't have to. I would recommend it, like, because I do like the entrepreneurs, and it does give you more faction tiles and more homeworld tiles. But anything other than that, it's not necessary. And one other thing, what do you guys think of the theme?
The space.
Like
galaxy
the
thing?
space the space theme.
Like
Oh,
I. Sorry.
I was just gonna say like it.
Okay,
Hit me.
Like I don't want to be rude. No, I was never big of the whole sci-fi thing, to be honest.
Really?
Like I was never a big sci-fi fan. I like the kind of like the old school style, but then with this is probably like my best. Or like
Fantasy.
this one and what was the one that we always played? Cosmic Encounter.
Oh yeah.
Those are probably the best like sci-fi themed
games that you've played.
Like I would never play a Star Wars game. Like
Yeah, I don't blame you. Those
But, like-
the two that I have are really good, but I totally get what you're saying.
So it's like I was never big on sci-fi, but with this the whole galaxies. I guess it's because it's a economical type game.
Yeah.
It's like a business style game.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it.
I think it works. The tiles and the abilities they give you make sense. I will say the theme is light. Like,
Right.
why does this world give me a military die or like the die? Because they're dice. You're like, well, I mean, I guess it's an alien technology, but why does it give me wilds more than... So, if you really want to delve deep, this is a very, I guess, pasted on theme. And
It's
with that,
a service level. There's no like storyline or anything.
Exactly.
It's just like mechanics.
yeah, pretty much. I would say this could have been easily any other theme. You can rehash it, Western, you can do fantasy, and it would work the same way.
oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
But
I don't mind the sci-fi.
Like
That's what I'm just
Monopoly.
saying.
like Monopoly, which they do paste every fucking
Right.
theme on. But I do like the sci-fi. There's another game, Among the Stars, that works like this in a similar setting. Just
You
pretty
mean,
much.
you mean Forbidden Stars?
You wanna, we can bring that out. I don't have it anymore. But I think it's a solid game. Scale 1 to 10,
8.5.
right?
Either a 7 or
8.5, and I wouldn't buy it personally.
Right. I'd probably give it
Yeah, probably an 8.
8, 9.
Maybe like a 7.98.
Round it
Four.
up.
2, 3.
Well, we gotta round up and round up.
No, I don't round up. I'm a cowboy. I don't round
I'd
up.
probably give it.
Who named
It's high noon.
I would give it an 8 as well. Definitely recommend it. Anything else? Anything else?
He's racist.
Oh, one more thing. There's a snake in my food. No, it's seriously, dude.
Seriously,
It just bit me.
dying.
I'm gonna die.
Okay, so
Don't
that
take me to
was
the hospital.
our thoughts on Roll for the Galaxy with a little bit of the Ambition expansion. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Other than that, have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching and I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you want to help out the channel, I have my Patreon link right there. If you want to make some suggestions on board games you'd like to see us run through, I have my board game geek list right there. And if you want to just, like the Facebook page, I have my Facebook link right there. And have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.